What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Ebbsfleet United. So here we are now guys, at the end of our 5th season in this save. And of course the big question lingering around us is, were we able to get promoted and get to the Premier League, or did we end up falling away at the end of the season, or come the end of the season fall away and end up missing out on our chance of promotion and then getting to the Premier League in the shortest mathematically possible time? And let's go into the league table now. So drum roll. That was a bit of a delay. But we did end up going up. We did get promoted, and that means we will be playing Premier League football next season, which is one hell of an achievement. And it's probably one of the best things I've ever achieved in this game, to get it back to back promotions into the Premier League. You know, to get to the Premier League after 5 years, that is such a great accomplishment. Was a fight in the end. As you see, Birmingham and us, we ended up falling away from 1st and 2nd place, dropping all the way down to 3rd and 4th respectively. So, you know, that still shows that we've got defensive frailties, and that's something that we will need to improve going into next season, because the Premier League is such a big step up. It's such a huge gulf in class between Championship and Premier League. We're going to have to sign some really good players if we want to survive. But we finished the season off with 23 victories, 8 draws and 15 defeats. We did go through in the playoffs, which of course we'll look at in a second. We scored 86 goals, which was the highest in the league by 2 goals coming in this season, and conceded 71, which was one of the worst in the league. So again, it's that defensive problems that have always lingered with the club since pretty much our first season. I think we had it in our first season. But it's always lingered with the club, defensive problems. It seems to just be something I'm going to have to live with, because it doesn't seem like it's going to ever change. But goals scored as yet again, which is something that's been pretty common with the club since we've entered the Football League, definitely. Actually, even when we were in the Skrill Prem, we had it, that we can't stop scoring. And in the end, that is what has helped us get promoted this season, the fact that we can't stop finding the back of the net. It's a shame that the other teams can't stop doing it against us either. So let's go into transfers and have a look at what we did, because we did have a little bit of action in January. So we decided to let 2 people go come January. Yando Mambo, who is one of the people that has been here since the very beginning, he left the club, and means he will be unable to play in every division possible in the game, with no additional add-ons for us, which of course is a shame. But as you can see, he's just fallen out of the first team for the past 2 seasons. And in the end of the day, he wanted to move on. You know, there wasn't really a place for him in the side, so I decided, yeah, we'll try and sell you on for as much as we can. And we actually picked up 145k, which I think is a decent fee to pick up for someone who is played pretty well, you know, throughout his career at a decent level. You know, the lower levels of English football. So he's gone to League 2 with Crawley, and he's done very well there, which is a level that I do think really suits him. He may be a good player in League 1, but I never really gave it to him. I never really gave him a chance to prove it, because we just had better defenders. So Mambo, a player to leave, chapter in the history there. And also Sean Goss, he left the side as well. He joined Motherwell for 450k, which is quite a hefty fee to pick up, but he decided to leave. Again, someone who played well for us for the first 2 years, played really, actually for 3 years, he played really well. But again, just fell out of the team once we entered the Championship. There was just no real place for him, and as a result, again, he wanted to leave. I sort of wanted to get rid of him. I didn't feel he was going to be good enough, and plus, you know, at the time, come January, we were looking to get promoted, and of course, in the end, we've got promoted. So, is this guy going to be good enough for the Premier League? The answer to that was sadly no, so he had to leave as well. So 450k is a really good fee to pick up for the player, considering he was a free transfer all them years ago. So yeah, Goss has left aside, which again is another sort of chapter in our history, that, you know, players are now leaving the side that were only here, or were here for, you know, quite a few seasons, and because we've got promoted so rapidly, you know, we kind of have to count this as one chapter, the Football League, you know, the non-leagues and the Football Leagues, and now we entered the Premier League, which is going to be the toughest chapter yet. Jamie Rodwell and Luke Mayo both left on loan to Maidenhead, and come the end of the season, we decided to let go Sadie Janko. He left for 250k to a French team. Oh no, Swiss team, sorry. And as you can see, we only signed him this season, and the reason for that is because he complained quite a lot about wanting to play a lot of first team football. We clearly felt he was better than he actually was, and as a result, we had a falling out. We had a dispute when he left. I said, you know, you clearly think you're a better player. You know, you can talk to your players when they leave. I said something which was quite negative to him. He took it very negatively. The press caught onto it and stuff like that. I said, you know, he'll regret the words he says. That's what I said. He'll regret the words he said once, you know, in a few years later. And I just don't feel he's a very good player. Clearly, this guy thought he was the world's best player because he played for Manchester United. But I mean, calm it down, mate. You know, look at your average ratings. You're a shit player. Deal with it, move on. You'll probably struggle in the Super League in Switzerland, and you'll probably end up going to play some crappy Spanish team or something like that in the future. But anyway, to the ins. We did sign 2 people in January and also 1 guy very early in February. The first guy is probably the first Premier League, proper good Premier League signing we've signed. And, sorry, I dropped my mic a little, almost nudged my mic a little bit there. But, yeah, he was the first sort of Premier League standard player we brought. And this was very early on in January. And I think this is a magnificent capture for the team. As you see, 25 years of age, so in his prime. He's a goalkeeper as well, which again was one of the reasons we really need to improve the goalkeeping position. He played well for us as well, keeping only 6 clean sheets and did concede quite a few goals. But if we look at the average rating, he's played very well. Also, he's coming in with playing experience with Udinese in Serie A. So this guy is a incredible capture for the team. And if we go on to his report as well, as you can see, good Premier League goalkeeper. Good Premier League goalkeeper for most sides there. A little bit of could maybe improve a little bit in the future. They don't reckon it's likely. But Pawlowski, I believe it is, who is a Polish player, I think this guy is going to be our goalkeeper for at least the next few years anyway in the Premier League. As you see, he's a good player, so of course we'll look to try and improve that at some point. Maybe we can try and look for a young goalkeeper, but for now, this guy will be our Premier League goalkeeper, and it's magnificent that we could get him in January in the season. It also showed that we were still thinking about the right things come January. We were still thinking about getting promoted. You know, I wasn't going to go, all right, we've done very well the first half. Let's sort of consolidate, make sure we stay in this division for the second half. You know, try and strengthen the squad where we can, and then next year we'll be ready to get promoted. But I just wanted to get up there instantly, so that was the aggressive signing there. This guy Sadie, who is 26 years of age, he is a striker. This guy was brought in again, but I just felt we needed to add something up front. Orbegozo was doing very well, but we did need another option up there. And Sadie was someone I saw on a free transfer, and I thought I need to put this guy up. As you see, he played in the 2nd division in France for a long, long time, and he's been in the top division of France for a while as well. But never had an incredible goal scoring record. So when he came to us, I didn't expect too much. I expected him to chip in here and there. But as you can see, he actually played a lot of games and scored a lot of goals. And there's a reason he started so many games as well, which I will, of course, go into a little bit later on. But yeah, he did very well when I called upon him. 6 goals and 7 assists. Okay, he didn't score a lot of goals, but them 7 assists I'm really happy with. And overall, the performances as well he put in were fantastic. So, Sadie will be someone that will probably be used in the Premier League. As you see, he's a decent Premier League player. So he'll probably be in and around the squad in the Premier League. I will look to try and sign a new striker, though. For reasons I will, of course, explain in a moment. And also, we've signed Nicholas Seguin, I don't really know how to pronounce that. 28 years of age, centre-back. We've signed him going forth to next season as well. As you see, not got the greatest report. Maybe a bit of a poor signing on my half. He has played in League 1 before, and as you see, putting good performances so far this season. Actually, saw it in February, sorry, I thought it was January. But yeah, this guy's a decent player. Maybe playing in next season for us, I'm not too sure. But like I say, only time will tell. He did put in good performances for us for the second half of the season, so he may have done enough. I'm not too sure yet. Depends what we can sign. But yeah, let's talk about other transfer news as well. So we'll talk about people that are looking to come in. The first guy we've got coming in is Olsen. He is from Copenhagen, 18 years of age, centre-back. This guy has got a very tasty report on him. Good Premier League potential and decent Premier League player. If we can bring this guy in and develop him, he may grow beyond that report that we've currently got there. He's been playing really well in the Superliga in Denmark for Copenhagen for the past 2 seasons as well, and he's only 18. So this guy, I'm really excited to see how he can develop. He's got great determination as well, strength. Overall, he's got some really good stats that you would want in a centre back. So excited to see how Olsen can do. He'll be competing definitely for the centre back roles with Schwab and also, I can't remember the guy's name. Seydu, I think it was. Seguin, whatever. And also we have got Emmanuel Waters coming in, 18 years of age, centre defensive mid. We don't play defensive mids, but Waters will be someone that we were looking to push up into that centre mid role to play the defensive-minded centre mid. Really good defensive midfielder, and overall just really good stats. I really like the looks of this guy. He's 18 years of age, so yet again, someone who I feel can do a very good job. He's struggled a little bit with Anderlecht in the Pro League. As you see, not got great performances, but I won't be looking to sort of shove this guy in instantly if I can help it. I will be looking to try and slowly, put him in the team, try and slowly develop him into a good player, because if I chuck him in at the deep end like Anderlecht have done, he's going to struggle, and that's not going to benefit his stats in any way, shape or form. So Waters and Olsen, 2 guys we're bringing in come the start of the new season, and also 2 guys leaving. First guy to leave is Matsuyas, 21 years of age. He'll be leaving to AZ Alkmaar, or whatever, however you pronounce that. Just not really played well this season. Despite the fact he scored a few more goals than he did last year, but he played a lot more games as well. And in my opinion, this guy isn't really cut out for the Championship, let alone the Premier League. So Matsuyas is leaving on a free transfer come the end of the season. And also, Mikel Orbegozo is leaving. Now, Orbegozo's contract was expiring at the end of the season. This is something I didn't realise until past the turn of the year. So as a result, then foreign clubs could come in and offer him deals. And I did throw in a deal. I'm not going to lie. Of course, you know, I only noticed once teams started bidding for him in contract. I was like, oh crap, I better sign him down. I really want to keep Orbegozo. It did toss and turn in my mind that, you know, is he going to be good enough? He's only a good Championship player according to reports. But I thought with a goal scoring record that he's had for the club, I can't not, you know, offer him a new deal. So I was offering him new deals, and, you know, I offered him a decent fee. I offered him an increase in wage and things like that because I did imagine he was going to be a good player, or at least an important player for us because how well his goal scoring record has been. But he turned us down. He turned us down to join a second division Spanish team who I don't even think got promoted. No, they didn't even get promoted. So instead of having the chance to play in the Premier League, he decided to go to the second league in Spain. I don't understand his decision. And basically what happened was it just became hard for me to sort of want to play him, which may sound quite silly, but I felt betrayed in a way. I mean, he scored 18 goals this season in 34 appearances, but he would have played a lot more if I don't. It's just, yeah, like I say, I sort of fell out of love with him because I felt like he did betray me, which is kind of petty. But he's done so much for the club over 3 years, probably more than a lot of people have done over the 5 years I've been here, the 5-6 years, whatever it is now I've been here. So for me to miss out on him, and for me to miss out on the chance, or for him to miss out on the chance of playing the Premier League, to me is baffling. And he was as well vice captain. He was vice captain coming into the start of the season, I believe. He definitely is vice captain. He was vice captain now. So for him to leave the club, to me, I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I don't understand the logic. Why is he his favourite manager? I don't see the connection. But yeah, and also we're his favourite club. I mean, it just. So Mikel Orbegozo will miss out on the chance to play in Premier League with us, and it does mean, like I say, we do need to sign another striker because the original plan was to play Orbegozo in the Premier League, but I'll never get that opportunity now. We'll never get to see how that comes out. But to the fixtures, we're going to the fixtures and have a look at how we did in the second half of the season. So I believe last time I let you off, we were just coming off 3 wins in a row, so just after the Burnley game. So following that, we beat Ipswich 2-0, Orbegozo picking up 2. And then we went on a poor run of form. We'll scroll down to here because you can see it now. So as you can see, from Reading to Norwich, we went on a run where we didn't win 2 games on the bounce. And in fact, we only won 2 games in roughly 3 months. We were on an abysmal run of form, and that is in the end of the day why we didn't get promoted automatically. So we'll go through this. 4-1 we lost to Reading, abysmal defensive performance. 4-1 we lost to Leyton Orient, again another abysmal performance. We beat Southend 4-0 in the FA Cup third round, but that is expected against a weaker team. We then drew 0-0 to Middlesbrough, which is a poor result. We lost 1-0 to Huddersfield. We lost 3-1 to Wolves then in the FA Cup fourth round. Again another poor performance. Wolves, a team in the Premier League, yes, but we played decently against City earlier on in the season. Didn't play well here against Wolves. Following that, we lost 2-1 to Watford. We lost 4-2 to Derby County before a 2-2 draw with Doncaster, picking up our first points in 3 games in the league. Before a heavy and hefty defeat, 5-1 to Sheffield United. That defeat had, you know, there was no reason for that defeat. There was no logic behind it. We were just abysmal, and there's no excuse for a poor performance like that. Following that, 3-1 we beat Swindon before a 0-0 draw to Blackburn, followed up by a 3-1 defeat to Norwich. Yet again, another poor result. We did then win 2 games on the bounce, and I thought finally the bad run of form was over as we won, too busy saying lost in the draw. We won 2-1 to West Ham, with Levitt getting a double, and we beat Bournemouth 3-0, getting a little bit of revenge on a earlier defeat, which I felt was sort of not really just to how well we've been playing at the time, as Ivan, Sadie and Levitt both scored for us there. But yeah, and even a draw to Leeds wasn't a bad result away from home. Ellen Road is always a hard place to go, even if there are only 16,000 people rocking up there. It's still a hard place to go. But no, that wasn't true. We continued our poor run of form as we lost to Wigan, Brighton, and drew to Crystal Palace 2-2 before a victory to Birmingham, which was a good victory. You know, a team up on the top half of the table, up at the top of the table, I should say. Sorry, a victory over them is a good victory and gave me confidence. We then lost to Nottingham Forest 1-0. Before we won 3 games on the bounce as we entered the end of the season with a 4-1 victory over Peterborough, a 4-1 victory over Burnley, and a 1-0 victory over Brentford. So 3 victories, and really for the past 5 games of the normal league season, or 6 games you can even say, we only lost 1 game. So, you know, it was encouraging form going into the playoffs, but we didn't start off in the ideal way. We lost 2-1 to Crystal Palace in the first leg away from home at Selhurst Park. As you can see, we were 2-0 down. If it wasn't for a late Richard Levitt goal, we would have gone into that second leg with not much hope. Not much hope indeed. Adam Johnson, this is the Adam Johnson who plays for Sunderland. In the second leg, though, we did get the 2 goals, and in the end put us through to the final with Ivan and Sadie picking up both the goals there. And as you can see, you know, as I said actually in the first leg, just a second ago, if Richard Levitt hadn't scored that last-minute goal, we would have struggled to overcome Crystal Palace. We did batter them. We did deserve a 2-goal margin, you know, 2-goal victory. But it wasn't until an 86th-minute goal that we got the second goal we needed to put us through without extra time. So, you know, Richard Levitt, I would say, was the hero of these 2 legs and the heroes of the playoffs because of that important goal he scored. Plus, he put in a great performance here. I don't know how many assists he got. I don't remember. It would be Ebbsfleet stats. It would be assist. He did pick up an assist as well. So as you can see, he played a key role in both the first and second leg and helped us get through to the final. And in the final itself, we came up against Norwich and we won 1-0. As you can see as well, earlier on in the season, we had lost 3-1 to Norwich and 4-2 to Norwich. So we were coming up against a team we'd not beaten all season long. But at Wembley, we stepped up, and Ivan, who has been the best player for our team this season probably, and has been the signing of the season for us anyway. He stepped up in the 39th minute and scored for us, and from that point on, it was an evenly fought match, even contest, and because of that, we both found it hard to score an additional goal or the next goal, and as a result, Ivan's one was enough to get us to the Premier League. Ivan's goal picked us, what did they say? It's, when this game here is worth, is it 120 million? So Ivan has scored a goal there that has given Ebbsfleet United 120 million. Incredible. And an incredible way to get promoted as well, because with that victory at Wembley, it means that we have now played at Wembley on, I think, 4 occasions and won all 4 times. The other 3 times being the FA Trophy, the Blue Square Prem playoff, and the Johnston Paint Trophy final. So, you know, that's a good record to have going into the Premier League, because ideally in a few years' time we'll be thinking about cup finals and about returning to Wembley and winning trophies. But yeah, those are the fixtures, and as you can see, we had an abysmal second half of the season. We almost threw it all away. If it wasn't for the occasional wins like against Swindon, West Ham, Bournemouth, and that last 5 games of the season where we won 4 out of 5, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have been in the playoffs and we wouldn't have got promoted. So we very nearly threw it away, but then in the end, the team came together and pushed through, jumped over that final hurdle, and got us to the Premier League. So, not the way I planned going up, but the way that we've ended up going up. This is the team thinking about next season, though. As you can see, we do need to strengthen on certain positions. We will be needing a centre attacking mid coming next season, and we will be needing a striker. If we look at the starting 11 as well, we will also be needing a left back. Radhaig is still here, and he will be here for a while. I'm looking to try and sell him, and also with Pradoni, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Pradoni, I think it is. With him leaving the side because he was only here on a years-long loan deal. With him leaving the side, we don't have a left back going into next season that I'll be happy to play. So we need 2 left backs ideally, which is quite a task. But not only that, again defensively we just need to improve. We've already got a centre back coming in. We'll be looking for another right back. Casher, I'm not too happy with. I'm going to try and sell him, shift him off, and bring someone else in. I said the striking position already. That is something I need to improve. Maybe a right back, maybe a right attacking mid. I don't know. Selina was such a great player come at the end of the season for us. I think I didn't point this out. I think he was the basically the key for us to get to that playoff spot in the end and end up getting promoted. If I go on to the fixtures now and show you, as you can see, Selina has scored there in the 59th minute. He scored the winning goal against Birmingham. He scored one of the goals against Crystal Palace. I believe he got a few assists here and there as well in these games. He was, to me, he was a very key player for us come the end of the season. He was putting in brilliant performances. So for that reason alone, I'm going to try and give him his attempt in the Premier League. As you see, Michael West is still in the squad. Again, I kind of want to give him a go in the Premier League. He's scored in every league, I believe, since the Skrill North. No, he didn't score this season for us, sorry, so no. But still, I'd like to give him a go in the Premier League, so he can go. He's not a bad backup player. You know, the fact that he can play everywhere and very versatile, that is a massive bonus. Richard Levitt continued to take his step up perfectly. Didn't get over a 7 average match rating, which to me is a little bit frustrating because that would have been a fantastic record to have. But he did continue to score, or set a standard for his goal scoring record, with 9 being his minimum yet again. Hopefully he can be someone who's to step up really well to the Premier League. Ideally that would be true because he's still got a report that says he can improve to a 4.5-star player, which would roughly be a leading Premier League player. So if he can do that, that would be massively beneficial. And also Levitt's dream has come true. I kept him at the club for so many years, even when all these Premier League teams were coming after him, because I felt it was best if we kept him here, developed him, and then we got to the Premier League. And in such a short space of time, in only 5 years of him being here, he's now got to the Premier League. He's now got to where he wanted to be. And there's, as you can see, there's no little symbol next to his name because, well, one, because he wants to stay at the club now, but also two, because I believe he's with England's under-21s on an international tournament. As you see there, he's on the bench. Currently, he's going into the European under-21s championships. And has he played so far? He played there. He came on in the 3-1 defeat to Holland. I think he started against Sweden in 3-1 victory, and also he did appear in one of the warm-up games as well. So yeah, Levitt being noticed on the international stage as well, which is very key, which is very good, of course. This means his value is going up. He is now valued at £4.3 million, highest in the team. But yeah, apart from that, you know, all other positions, they're decent enough. I do want to sign another centre mid. I do like Razak and Weezer, but I would like to obviously sign another centre mid. But it all depends on who's out there. If I can find some great players, of course I'll improve every position. If I can't, of course I'll stick with what I've got. And that's pretty much how it's worked before. You know, I always say come the end of the season, I want this position, this, and this. But once I get to the actual transfer market and look at the players out there, I actually go, well, maybe it's not actually worth the risk of me buying that. I might as well keep that we've already got. And the example of that is Chris Childs, someone I've always wanted to improve. Now he's going to be getting a chance in the Premier League. Maybe. The reason I say maybe is because I kind of want to play Dubois a little next season, if I can. You know, for the last maybe 5-10 minutes of a game, 20 minutes maybe, I'll bring Dubois on and play him. That would be a great for the lad, and also help his development, of course, as well. So let's go into the league and have a look at some awards, I guess. Who picked up goal of the season? We didn't pick any of that. Did we get goal of the month ever? Richard Levitt came third once. Not bad. Manager of the month, we picked it up once in September. That was the start of the season. We were, of course, on fire. Manager of the year went to Gary Bower, who is the Reading manager. Something that I just saw here. Brendan Rodgers is Crystal Palace manager. If that would and Tony Pulis is Black, but actually that could happen. But yeah, that's quite a surprise. Player of the month, we picked up twice, Orbegozo and Selena. I don't think we picked up Player of the Year. I don't remember. Actually, no, we did. Selena picked up Player of the Year, and that just shows how good he'd been all season long. He really did step it up this year and put in incredible performances. Because really, in my mind, he was almost out the door. You know, if he didn't have a good year this year, he probably would have left. But because of how good a performance he's put in, I've got to play him for another year. I've not got to play him, but I feel like I deserve to put him in for the Premier League. See how he goes, because what's the worst that can happen? He doesn't play well. All right, we'll just sell him. You know, he's still pretty young, 21 years of age. I can still sell him on for a decent profit because he's still got potential. Players Team of the Year went. Did we get any in that? We did get Ivan in that and Selena, and we also got Orbegozo on the bench. Top goal scorer, we didn't get anywhere in that. Nick Blackman. Polish? I thought this guy was English. How's he Polish? Does he play in Poland, Nick Blackman? Bizarre. I didn't realise he was part Polish. Young Player of the Month, Richard Levitt picked it up on 2 occasions. Selena picked it up on 1. Who ended up picking up Young Player of the Year? It went to Redmond, of course. How many times did he pick it up? Once, of course. Yeah, he definitely deserved that. Yeah. What was his rating? Average rating overall in the season. Oh, I've clicked on something wrong. Stats, players, average ratings. Right, let's have a look. What was his name? he was Redmond. Redmond is 28 with a 7.00. Yet we have Selena there, who could have won that award, didn't get it, and Levitt was just 6.99. Oh, maybe he deserved it. Who cares? I still think it should have gone to Levitt. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for now. Let's go on to Tactic, because I haven't looked at Tactic in a few years. It's still very basic, very simple, still the same. 4-2-3-1. Only things on are control, rigid, and retain possession. And yeah, this is going to be the tactic we're going to use going into the Premier League, which is quite a thing to say. Finances wise, we are currently have a negative balance, but of course that will change once the Premier League money starts to come in. As you can see, we've already been set an initial budget. It's jumped up from 91,000, I think it was last time I saw you off. It's now 377,000. So it has trebled pretty much. So that is good to see. We have a little bit of money to spend, but it's definitely defensively we need to work on next season. As you can see, the squad depth is low in that position, and also the starting 11 isn't good. So next time I'll meet you back, we'll be 6 months into the Premier League season, and touch wood, we'll have a decent start. Maybe even go for the league title. Hey, nah, I'm joking. We can't do that yet. The team is nowhere near good enough. I mean, we hardly got out of this division. But and then again, I've proved myself wrong before. So until then, guys, peace out.